Hey everybody, I am trying to bring you along with my day in the greenhouse. I'm kind of all over the place today. We're just trying to pot up as much as possible, and then we're back to seeding like crazy. So right now I'm working on my, here I'll show you, my chaos seeded snapdragons. This is where we just took a 10-20 flat and we sprinkled all of the tiny snapdragon seeds in. Let them germinate, and they're just getting tall enough where I'm going to separate them out. I just kind of pull a chunk out like that, and I just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. They kind of break apart. So that's a single snap, and then I'll add a video. I just usually sit them out on each of these cells. Here I have a 72 cell plug tray, and I usually sit them on each cell, and then I go through with this very professional steak knife that I found in my parents' garage a couple of years ago, and it is what I use to transplant seedlings. I don't know what to tell you. Some would say this is maybe not the safest tool to use, but everybody has like their special thing. I like to just push the roots in with this, and it pulls the plant right into the dirt. And so that's what I'm using. Use a toothpick, use a pencil, all of the above works. So it seems like a lot of work, but each one of these little seedlings is going to be several snapdragons for the farm, and so it is worth the few minutes it's going to take me to do a tray of these. I've probably got, I'm guessing 2,000 snapdragon seedlings in this tray. I did about half of them yesterday, so I'm going to finish up the rest of these right now. I'm continuing to rotate through my Lisianthus. If you watched my video earlier, I am bottom feeding the Lisianthus today. I'm going to try to bottom feed the onions, not bottom feed, I'm going to fertilize the onions today. The tomatoes, cucumbers, all the veggies today, and our stock seedlings. I feel like they really need some love today, so I'm going to try to get those. It's an additional, I don't know why the heater is kicking on. It's an additional feeding on top of the foliar feed that we're going to do here on Friday. But like I said in my other video, I like to foliar feed everything because I can guarantee everything gets sprayed in the greenhouse in a very quick, 10 15 minutes tops. And then throughout the week I use my old shop cart, and I go through and bottom fertilize like 3 trays at a time. I am not spending a lot of time doing that. I just fill it. I put the fertilizer right in there and fill it, and I put in 3 trays at a time, and it usually works out about timing. The time it takes me to, say, transplant these seedlings in this tray, I'll go swap out 3 more trays to bottom fertilize and just slowly scoot my way around the greenhouse. I can usually do most of the greenhouse over a couple of days. We also try to fit in a compost tea spray throughout the week just to introduce some beneficial microbes into the soil. And so I'll take you along for that. Probably do that. Today's Wednesday. I'll probably do that tomorrow with the morning watering. I'll just go ahead and, I've got an attachment that hooks onto the hose that I will put a little bit of compost tea in that, and it will just dilute it as it's spraying the seedlings for the morning. So that's what we're doing. Just very busy. It's mid to end of February. So we felt like we were pretty far ahead, and now this is like where the seeding rush is about to start. We have been down to negative 30 something with wind chills on the farm, and then next week we're going to be in the 60s. That's like a 90-degree difference. So We are going to have to be really cautious here in the greenhouse and not letting it get too warm in here, which our exhaust fans are on thermometers, so when the top of the greenhouse gets to like 85 degrees, they pop on and they'll pull the cold air through the greenhouse, and on the other side it will pump out the warm air from the top, so it cools it down pretty good. But with that being said, the high tunnel is warming up today with the sun. As soon as I have a forecast, which we right now do, where we're going to stay in the mid-20s or higher at night, we are kicking the ranunculus and the sweet peas and a few other cold hardies out to the high tunnel. And that our forecast looks like it's going to be conducive to that. So we're going to switch gears and get a bunch of those planted out in the high tunnel either this weekend or early next week. And that will free up a lot of space in here. So that's why I'm trying to get everything potted up and out of the way, because starting next week, after we get through all of that, we will be doing some mass seeding. Seeding a majority of our vegetables are going to get started at that point. A lot more of our cold hardy flowers need started for our later successions, and we are really a stone's throw away from even some of our warmer season flowers getting started. So it's going to come really fast. We're trying to stay ahead of it so we can stay on top of our successions. We can get the biggest seedlings possible. The fertilizer is a big part of that, so I make sure and take that time every week to do it. That's a step you don't want to skip. And on top of all of that, we've got the apple orchard. Where as soon as it warms up here in the afternoons when it's really nice and sunny, it's hot in here, I am going to be headed out to the apple orchard, and we're going to be doing our high density pruning and training of the branches. So I'll bring you guys along for that. Like I said, that'll be this next 7 days. I've also got 2,000 bare root strawberry plants arriving. I think they're shipping out today. Hopefully, let me see, what day is it? Sorry, not today. Next Monday, those are shipping. I was like, it'd be terrible timing with the weather. No, so next week we'll have about 2,000 bare root strawberries coming in the mail. We've already got plugs planted in the field, about 3,000 to 4,000 strawberry plugs out there. We're testing the bare roots as kind of like a second succession for fruit this summer, and then we'll carry those an extra season and let them fruit for a second year. I'm also going to plant several, probably like a 50 to 100 of those strawberries in pots and hanging baskets, and wake those up here in the greenhouse and let our customers have access to buying some strawberries for their own production at home. So all of those things are going on this week. It's going to be an exciting week. Follow the page. We're trying to share as much as possible. So if you are an aspiring farmer out there and want to know what it's like for us here in our zone, this is what we're working on.